What's up, guys? Welcome to Run It Back with Blair Bomber. I'm Blair Bomber, and I'm getting kind of tired of the intro. I'm just going to start. I should keep it. Could you imagine if someone got on the pod, they're like, what am I listening to? And they didn't hear the intro? They'd be like, what is going on here? Who is this guy? No one important. It's okay. How we doing? Happy Saturday. It is Saturday the 6th. Look at that. The kid's getting better at dating. I'm doing good. Thank you for asking. Okay, I got something I want to get into right away. And it might be the only thing I talk about. It might be the only thing I have time to talk about. So I was listening to the radio. Now, the radio is... Who listens to the... Who's that for? You know, who's getting in the car like, fucking 97.5? Fuck yeah, I can't wait to listen to DJ Carey Care. DJ Carey Kittles. It's like, you just find a podcast. Put your own music on. You have all of the music that's ever existed is in your phone. Why would you listen to commercials on the radio and have some shit disc jockey do these weird little games in between the music you want to listen to? Well, the answer is it's for fat people. Fat people are the ones who are like, I fucking just really like when they talk about the trivia of the 80s rock band and then pop culture. It's like, shut up. But my phone was dying, or I didn't have time, or I didn't feel like syncing it up. Anyway, it was on. And they were doing this thing, this game that they do, or this segment that they do, where a guy calls in or a girl calls in, and they talk about a date they went on. And what happens is they say their piece of what happened, and then they say they didn't call me back. So then the radio gets their number, and the radio works as like a damage control mediator to see what went wrong, or if they just lost the number, or what was the problem, right? Which, before we even get going, that's the stupidest shit I've ever heard. Why are you meddling? If someone goes on a date and they don't get a call back or they get ghosted, that means that person probably fucked it up somewhere. That means they probably messed up along the way, and that's what dating is. Why are you overstepping? For what? Like, what are you looking for? Now, if your goal as that radio place is to get clicks and get weird, cringy things to happen, then okay, great. Then we see what you're trying to do. But if you think you're actually helping, you're delusional. You're not doing anything that's going to actually help. Okay? Now, granted, I've only heard one segment, and it was a fucking doozy, dude. It was a doozy. So this guy calls in. White guy. Say his names. I like using Kyle. I think Kyle's a perfect name for a white guy. Kyle, Kevin, Chad. I think even Chad's kind of like overdone now. It's a little bit hacked to use Chad. Maybe it's hacked to use Kyle. Christian, does that work? Nah, it's too many syllables. We'll use Kyle. It's easy. So Kyle calls the radio station, and he goes, I went on this date, and, you know, she was like, it went great. We went on a date. We laughed. We had dinner. We hung out afterwards. And then she just won't return my texts, won't return my calls. I just don't understand what is happening. Can you guys just, I don't know. I think we can do a good job. Let me figure this out. And so from what he's saying, it sounds like, okay, maybe there's a disconnect. Maybe something happened along the way. She lost his number. You know, maybe. Just the way he said it. Now, there's two sides to every single story. For the rest of time, if two people experienced one thing, they both have two very different viewpoints of how it all went down. So the radio station, they call this girl. And the girl is like, hey, oh my God, what's up? Hi. And then the second the radio station says Kyle's name, she immediately tightens up. And then Kyle's also on the line. He's like, hey, what's up? It's me. Crazy to hear from you. However the fuck. If I do the voice in and out, fucking just bear with me. So the radio station's like, he said like it went great or what happened. We just want to know what happened. And then she goes, it did not go great. It did not go great at all. He was super, like, he was weird and he was mean and, like, you know, I didn't like it. And he's like, whatever. See how I changed his voice already? He's like, whatever. And then she starts telling what happened at the date. She was like, first of all, he fucking like hopped into like a processional, like a funeral procession. Like it was letting out of a funeral was letting out, and there was a line of cars, right? And they were backed up. And this guy allegedly cut in the line between the cars that are leaving a funeral. They're following the fucking, what's the name of the car that carries bodies? Whatever. He cut in that, and he was like, it was a joke. It was funny. What do you mean? Come on. And she was like, no, it was not funny. It was fucking weird and rude and disrespectful to this person who just died. He's like, all right, come on, whatever. And then she was like, and then she goes on and says that he was like rude to the waiter. Like he was really rude to the waiter. Right? And she's like, yeah, and this guy was like, he was an asshole to this guy, and he was doing it wrong, and he kept like shitting on him, and then the guy starts trying to cut in, like, oh, that's not what happened. I mean, whatever. I still tipped him 30%, so he can handle me not being that nice as long as he gets his tip. Who gives a shit? You see, I made him more aggro as the story went on. Like I made him kind of a nice guy in the beginning, because that's kind of how he came off, was like a seldom guy, a solemn guy who was just like, my day didn't go well and help me out. And then he flipped the switch, started getting called out for all the shit he was doing. Then he was mean to the waiter. He's like, well, whatever. And then the disc jockeys, the fucking DJs, or the fuck, if you're a radio DJ. So then the DJ goes like, oh, well, it's DJs are like, well, actually, I'm just changing voices. It doesn't really matter. The DJ pretty much said, well, that's how you tell if somebody's good or not. It's how they treat people that serve them. If they're mean to a waiter, it's probably how they really are. And the guy just chimes in, oh, it's bullshit. That's not true. No one believes that. And now the girl is like, yo, you kind of sucked. And then she starts talking about something else. He cuts her off and goes, oh, no, it's my turn to talk? How about, can you just stop talking? Can you just stop talking? Now it's my turn to fucking talk. They weren't swearing. It's the radio. They don't swear on the radio. And she was like, and then you hear the DJ is like, ooh, it was not what we wanted. And then she goes like, actually, I'm like kind of uncomfortable, and I don't think this is going the way I'm going to leave. Goodbye. She hangs up. And then the DJs are like, all right, well, we're just going to go to a sneeze. They're like, no, we're just going to go to a commercial. And then it's over. And then it was done. And nothing was resolved. The guy just was an asshole, apparently. So that just goes to show you that you can go on a date and think you're doing it right. But in reality, you're the worst person who's ever lived. That guy sucked. He sucked. First of all, no sense of humor. Mean to waiters. He was snapping at this girl over the phone on live radio. Yo, dude, know your audience, man. What are you doing? It was fucking nuts. But then I thought, at first I was like, this is just insane. I can't believe I just listened to this. But then I thought, what if this is all a plant? Because it seemed almost too good to be, or too bad, too cringy to be true. Like, okay, this guy hops in a funeral procession. That's weird. He's clearly delusional. But then he's like, oh, and he's mean to waiters? Oh, and he snaps at this girl live on the radio? It's like, I don't doubt that guy exists, but I do kind of find it hard to believe that you could find that guy and find out that he's that kind of guy live on the radio. That just doesn't happen. It felt a little bit like this could be scripted. And I should fucking do a follow-up. I mean, I can't believe, and they didn't even bring it back up again. The radio just like went back to commercial and never talked about it again. I was like, yo, you guys got a follow-up. Okay, this guy's clearly a sociopath. And I know we just kind of throw that around, but this guy is true blue sociopathic. Probably killed some cats. Does not value, women, I guess. I mean, who doesn't value women? Come on. Women are dope. Gotta value them a little bit. But yeah, man, I don't even know. That kind of blew me away. you know, like I always have an empathy for the girls. Like this girl, like this is why women don't trust men, because there are guys like that out there. Like, could you imagine if you're like a small woman and you're trapped in a car who cuts in to a group of cars that are grieving and is like, how funny is this? That guy fucking died. It's like, whoa, dude. Do you not put any value on human life? And he's like, I don't. By the way, we're going to my basement now. Right now. Also, your seatbelt, it doesn't unlock. The fact that any woman ever goes on a date with a guy that she doesn't already know, like you gotta like know somebody. I think that's the way to do it. Like the whole blind date, whole dating on Hinge, Tinder. Like as the guy, it's like kind of it's kind of the move. But if you're a woman, it's like, yo, how do you trust any guy? You got to go to a public setting. You got to tell all of their friends where they're going. This is my location. This is where I'm going. This is where I'm going to be. If I don't come back, this is this guy's Instagram. This is his number. I tried to get his social security, couldn't get it from him, but still, this guy might kill me. This is me having empathy. This is also a sign that I'm probably going to have daughters. There's no way I don't have daughters. I'm going to be that guy who just like keeps on trying to have kids because he wants to have a boy, and then he just fuck around and has 6 daughters. That's just what's going to happen for me. There's something else I was going to say. It doesn't really matter, does it? It doesn't really matter. Doesn't matter. Oh, you know what I'm learning though? Like recently about me is I'm the female. Like I might be a trans man. I think I am, because the way that I view, relations with my friends, with women I'm seeing, like I have kind of a female perspective. Not saying this is how women actually think. I'm saying more of like that tropey sitcom type, the naggy wife. You know what I mean? Where the wife's like, Frank, I can't believe you're not going to hang out with me tonight. Meh. It's like, stuff like that. It's like, we had sex twice last week. You don't get sex for 2 months. Meh. That's not really how I am with the sex part. So we gotta be fucking steady fucking. But this girl who I'm seeing, she's nice. I called her a nice lady, and she did not like that I called her a nice lady, which is why I'm going to call her a nice lady right now. This nice lady, look, if we make plans, right? Like we have plans. And I'm not saying they have to be, we are going to this place at this time. I made reservations. Boom, 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 boom. It doesn't have to be that. Okay. I don't think it needs to be that thing. But if we talk early in the week, like, hey, I'm off on Saturday, Friday, let's go do some shit. And she's like, bet, let's go. To me, that's a plan. Now, I understand that things happen and other things come up, and there's other obligations that people kind of have to do, even if they're recreational things. They're things you want to do, right? Do those things always. Always do them. If you had planned to do them, do that thing first. Don't blow off plans to hang out with me. You'll resent me later for that. But if we make plans, even loose plans, if you bail on those plans to do something else, even if you'd already thought about it, but even if you'd already kind of half made the plan before we made our plan, you got to understand that I'm not going to be super stoked about that. And this is where the female parts of it, it's like I'm getting like, this put me in a bad mood. It almost ruined my night. Because I'd planned something, and then the plan went away. And then she went and did her own thing. And then I sat at home and fucking half beat off. Like, she had a great night. And now I got FOMO because she's having fun. And I'm at home. We should be having fun together. We're not having fun together at all. But then it like ruined my night almost. Like, it really bothered me. When it's like, what am I doing? Blair, go to a bar and have a beer. And shut the fuck up. These are the kind of things that I go back and forth on. Because the things... If I think about something for longer than 3 seconds, I'll realize that I'm probably wrong. And how my first instinct, while in certain scenarios pretty accurate, my gut is usually on the nose. Sometimes it's not your gut, it's your ego. But your ego will disguise itself as your gut, right? Like if that girl went with her gut when she first met that guy, maybe she wouldn't have had to deal with that shit at the end. But also, it was over and he was weird and she cut it off. That's smart. For me, if I go with my gut on, I don't know, like ordering a Modelo at a bar, right? My gut tells me, you got to ask if it's on draft. Okay, ask if it's on draft. Because if it's not on draft, it's not in a bottle, you're not going to want it. It's not as good. Modelo in a can, it's just not as good. I know it's pretentious. It's kind of bougie. I know. It's not as good. My gut tells me, hey, Blair, it might be annoying, but you got to ask. Just go with your gut. Ask. Because if I don't ask and it comes in a can, I'll be like, fuck, should have gone with my gut. Now the ego part of me, the ego will disguise itself, right? It'll make you think that your gut tells you, you shouldn't be canceling plans with me because it's, gut tells me that she's canceling plans. She probably doesn't like me that much. Not true. Not true. Okay? That's just ego thinking that you are more important than their plans. And whatever, dude. Who gives a shit? Right? If someone chooses to do something over hanging out with you, fucking good. Yo, do you want someone hanging out with you that's going to resent hanging out with you when they could be doing something else that they really enjoy? Not that they don't enjoy you, but that thing they wanted to do, they could be doing, and they're not doing it because of you. See, this is like a little peek into my mind. This is kind of things that go back and forth. It's just like this back and forth Federer-Nadal rally on clay of me being like, Blair, you're being a pussy. Or are you? And the answer usually is, if I have to get to that question, if I get to that point where it's like, yo, dude, don't you think you're just kind of being a pussy? The answer is 98% of the time, the answer is yes. And you need to chill out. Just relax. You know how no one likes to be told to relax? It's like the worst advice you could ever give somebody when they're in like a hyper state. Like if someone's trying to punch into if someone's trying to gouge out somebody's eyes, you know what you're not supposed to say? Excuse me. Okay, man, maybe just like relax for a second and like think about the consequences of your actions. That's not how that works. You got to match their energy, break it up, push them away, get them to calm down. Then once they're on the way down, then you hit them with the, hey man, let's take it easy. Let's chill a little bit. Let's chill. Let's calm ourselves a little bit. That's how you do it. Okay. But telling someone to relax when they're super not relaxed, it's only going to make them want to gouge your eyes out. And you know what? Everybody knows that. It's so in the zeitgeist of things you're not supposed to do that now you'll do it just to push their buttons, just to fuck with them. You know? Like you'll be in a fight with your girl and they'll be worked up and you know that if you say relax, she's going to fucking freak out even more and you just want to piss her off. So she's like, fucking, hey, why don't you just relax? And then it's just like, oh, relax. You want to see relaxed? And then she tries to stab you in the neck with a spork. It's also you fucking relaxed. Or she, takes your glasses off and stomps them on the ground and then takes a swing at you because it's a lot easier to hit a blind guy than it is to hit a regular guy, if you know what I mean. All right, short and sweet one today. And also, it's a Saturday. It's a Saturday pod. I might record again tomorrow. One's coming on Monday regardless. So this is essentially almost a bonus episode. If you discount that it should have been out already on Friday. Whatever, guys. Whatever. We got there. All right, we did it. Have a good day.